Hello everyone and welcome back to another Universe Sandbox video, and today we're going to be doing another system creation, but this time I'm not actually making any of the planets we're using. They are all sent in by you guys already, as we are doing the competition winners solar system. So all of the objects that won a competition in the previous season 2 of competitions. If you didn't check out on that previous video last week where we went through the whole season results, make sure to watch that video first. But without further ado, let's get into this. So the only exception to the rule today is stars. I'm going to use the sun. I've decided I'm going to put the sun in. Nice simple star. We know it stats well. We know where we can and cannot put things if we want it to work. So we've got the sun. Obviously, it's got its normal stats there. Don't know why it's 1.01 suns in this update, but that's weird. But yeah, we're in update 26.3.1. So let's go ahead and now search up competition. So these are all of the competition winners. So we can see here it starts off with competition 1 and it should go all the way to competition 17, I think it was. So without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and start placing these in. So the first object was, the winner of the first competition was an Object Mad Planet guy made, and it was a gas giant. So if we're looking back at the history here, this was HD95086b. So it's a gas giant. I know he likes Jupiter and stuff and gas giants, so we're going to place this roughly where Jupiter would normally, around 5-ish AU, yeah, 5-ish AU there. So there we go. So competition 1, Mad Planet guy. It's actually larger than Jupiter as well, so it probably fit in this spot quite nice. And here it is. So it's got that dark spot effect on it, the negative contrast, looking very nice. Obviously, it's got similarities to Jupiter as well. And yeah, there we go. So first object placed. So that was object competition 1 there. So first object placed in here. We'll put orbits on. So we've got that around the sun, looking good. Okay, next up was object competition 2. So there was actually, it was a draw on this one. So this was M51ULS1B object competition. So yeah, we had it was a joint win between Mr. Misslot and Mad Planet guy here, and they obviously, these were gas giants as well. So what we're going to do is, for the time being, I'm going to place the competition 2 object. I'm going to place it roughly where Saturn would normally sit. So I'd say around 10-ish AU. I'm going to place it there. And then competition 2, Mr. Misslot, that was also another one. We're going to place that a little further out. Maybe we'll go roughly sort of Uranus area, around 19-ish. I think Uranus is around 15-ish, actually, 15, 17, somewhere there. Going to place it in there. So now if we go ahead and look at them quickly. So competition 2. It's another gas giant, not as large as the first one, but we can see here. So this was M51ULS1B here. So again, it's got this one. It's got the dark sort of contrast upgrade on it as well, making it have that cool sort of appearance when we look at it with the camera. So it's got that sort of dark spot effect on it, which is really cool. So second object there, and then the third object from Mr. Misslot over here. This is roughly in where Uranus would normally sit, and the reason I've decided to do that is this one's got like that weird tidally lock sort of effect on it. So I'm going to place it on its side like Uranus would be. So we're going to put it there. So there we go. Or what we could do is pull it closer to the sun. But that could be, it's not too large in size. It's only 8.17 Earths, so 0.1 Jupiters. I'm going to try this. Let's move it into the inner solar system. We've got an object roughly where Jupiter and Saturn normally sit. But what if we try and sneak this one closer than the orbit of Mercury, possibly? So if we try and place it, I'm just going to start off with there. Let's see how it copes there. So this object, obviously, it's very hot in appearance, so we're going to make it quite hot as well. So let's just let it run, see how it copes. So 0 degrees, that should warm up, or not. 0 degrees. Okay, have we got some crazy albedo on here by any chance? It's only 0.51. I mean, that should be warming up. Is it tidally locked, maybe, or does it rotate? Let's see if it rotates. Rotational period, 900 years. Yeah, we'll speed that up a little bit. So days. Yeah, that's a lot of days. So we'll put it down to 1.2. There we go. So let it spin a bit. Okay, so that should hopefully warm the object's average temperature up a bit. So let's now, yeah, so there we go. It's warming up. So, no, it's not. Okay. So even at this distance from the sun, it doesn't have it. It will not have it. So I will try and lower the albedo though. Maybe that'll help it warm up. So we can see the temperature here. That should hopefully help it out. So, okay, so now it's warming up. So the albedo did have a part to play there. So let's see. Still sitting around -20. That is very peculiar how the game is letting it do that. I mean, you'd think at this distance to the sun, I mean, where are we? So it takes 10 months to go around the sun. Okay, so we're still, I think we could lower that. So we'll hop a little closer. So we'll halve it to 5 months. So if we're comparing it to Mercury, which would be 88 days. So this is roughly a Venus orbit now. So we're going to 77 days or 38. So that's closer than Mercury orbit now. That should hopefully give it a bit of temperature. As we can see, it's warming up a little nicer now. Let it slow down. See if that gives it the boost it needs. If it doesn't, I mean, that is very, very bizarre. So yeah, we'll just let that sit there and see if it cooks up or not. So we'll also give it a cool trail. So we'll get a nice sort of orangey yellow shade there. Good. So all the objects have got trail colors so far. So that one is really close in there. So yeah, that was a M51 UOS 1B. So we got both of those in since there was two. It was a joint win between Mad Planet Guy and Mr. Misslot. So we got, yeah, his Mad Planet Guy's one's more of a dark sort of appearance. And Mr. Misslot's is the very bright and vibrant sort of hot looking world. So yeah, we'll have that in there. See how that works. Let's actually run the simulation a bit. Hopefully it doesn't upset any of the other orbits. I mean, that close to the sun, I think it should be fine. So yeah, that's looking good. None of the orbits are shaking or anything. So we'll let that calm down a bit. Right, so next object. Right, so object competition 3. So what competition was this? This was the Toy 700D object competition. So let's go ahead and place. So this is Error XD's object. Let's place it. Let's place it around the Venus orbit area. So around 150, 250-ish day sort of area maybe. So around 0.8 AU. We're going to put it in there for now. So let's see how this one sorts itself out. So here it is. Zooming in. It may not be the same as it appeared in the original video because this is a newer version of the game now. It's looking pretty cool though. So average temperature is 60 degrees. So that will still warm up. So we'll just put it back to around 50-ish. There we go. Right, now what we'll do is let's increase the water a bit. I will allow the increase of water. We're not changing the colours of the object. We are simply just increasing the water. So I see that as fine for this. So just make it a little more interesting looking. So there we are. There's a lot of snow on it as well. And now we're in this version of the game. In theory, we can change the snow colour, but or the ice colour as well. Would we get away with that? Oh, it doesn't seem like it even wants to work on this one, which is bizarre, but it's probably because it is an object from an old version of the game, so we have to keep that in mind. So, what about the melt button? Let's see where that... Can we get rid of the ice melt? No? Freeze, melt. Nope, it still keeps the ice area on it, unless it's... No, it's none of the elevation areas. Okay, that is pretty bizarre. Actually, one thing I'll try as well. Let's try the sea level thing. So... Okay, so, okay, that doesn't seem to like it. Yeah, so actually, there we go. So we'll just lower the sort of maximum elevation. So if we also increase it, more snowy mountains. If we lower it, less snowy mountains. So I want to get rid of all that. So have it looking, yeah, it looks better like that, I think. So I'll leave it like that. I think that's looking good. Sitting in the Venus orbit, so it's fairly hot here, but yeah, it works. So we'll have that chilling in there. Let's also just give it a quick interface. Just give it a slight color there. Right, excellent. So Object Competition 3, that's one's done. Next up, we got Object Competition 4. This was the Terraformed Object Competition. So this one was won by Anonymous, if I remember right. And I think from the last video, if I remember right, this one, it was quite a broken object. So we'll see how it functions here. So, how does it look? Okay, so I'm guessing it's going to be very broken. I mean, this one was a crazy cloud object at one point. So let's see what part of it has survived. So... yeah, it's not looking too promising, I have to say. I mean, it does look very broken. What we'll do, though, is we will increase the water, trying to make it look a little more... yeah, it doesn't look like the original whatsoever, so let that sort itself out. I think it has a colour tint on it, possibly. The ocean colour's looking pretty cool. So this was an object from update 23, so yeah, right now we're in 26.3.1, so we're quite far in the future for this object. In the original version it was made in. So I'll do the same with this as well. I will lower that sea... Oh, no, it's not the sea level I want to change, is it? No, that's the new button they added. What I want to add is the elevation span again. So, okay. Oh, that seemed to have sorted out the sort of glitch-looking water, actually. So that's looking better. Okay, so let that just sort of sort itself out a bit. Now, where is it? So, is it supposed to have those surface colours? No, okay. So, what we'll do as well, back down to elevation. We're going to lower this. Let's get the original colours back on it. So there we are. Right, so that's changed that. I'm hoping the elevation's not like completely flat on this object. So just keep clicking it nicely. Let's see. Is it going to surface? No? Anything? Come on, you don't want to do that to us. Okay, so now that there's the surface. Okay. So it's weird how the colour is appearing the way it is. I mean, this was supposed meant to be a green looking object. So if we just increase it all the way up, I mean, yeah, that doesn't... Yeah, the colours seem to be a little buggy on it, so we may have to give it a manual sort of adjust. So, for instance, where are we? So, in appearance, so is this the high elevation? So, the high elevation we're not looking at here, so that's rather annoying. Temperature-wise, let's put it up to 20 degrees. Maybe that will give it a boost. 50... No? That is bizarre, but it is an old object, so, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, can't be fully functional in this version of the game. So, that's what it looks like underneath. But that is bizarre. So if we remove all the water... So there's its green. That is the green it should have there. So why does that not show up when we add any water to it? So it just gets completely drowned out straight away. So then we can try and find, and we'll try and melt it as well. Hopefully that will, can we melt? See, this melt button is not the most reliable thing ever. I mean, look, click on it and it just, we're supposed to be melting, not freezing. It's a freeze melt. So the freeze does that for some reason. I mean, that is really bizarre. So try and make it a whole ocean world. I mean, that's not going to work. See, this one probably is almost irreparable, to be honest. But, I mean, we can give it a shot again. I mean, 20 degrees. I mean, it doesn't seem to want to... I mean, we can speed up time. Maybe, I don't know if that's going to help or not. I mean, just let it get the warmth of the sun, hopefully. Let's check its stats. I mean, it should be... How large is it? So it's about 1 Earth. I mean, this was a high... If I remember right, this used to have very high stats. So... What else could we try? Could try the sea level thing, possibly, but we need to get her warmed up again. So, what's the albedo on this thing? So, okay, so let's buff it up. So, 1 ATM, that should easily be enough to keep it going. So, it's sitting roughly where Earth would normally be, around the 14 mark at the moment. So, it still doesn't want to have it. Now, I am thinking of trying to... See, this is something I'm kind of going against what I wanted to do here, but... Will that fix it? No, that doesn't seem like it wants to fix it either. I mean, it seems like it wants to be completely frozen. So what we'll do is we'll try and get a fresh copy spawned in. So we'll place a fresh one here. So maybe we just leave it the way it is. I mean, the way it is seems to be... I mean, it has the colours on it. And maybe if we just increase the water just a tiny, tiny bit, we may be able to make this work. So auto orbit, please. Thank you. Right. So, yeah, it's got the colours. It's just... Be very little careful. Just increase the water just a tiny, tiny bit. Just let it sort itself out. So we can still see there's parts of the green underneath there. But that's a hard one to work with. So I'm going to leave it like that. Don't want to keep messing around with it. And yeah, I don't. And in theory, my rule here as well is I'm not meant to change the characteristics of the objects too much. It's just sea levels I really want to be messing with here. So I'm going to leave it the way it is. I mean, it is a little broken, obviously, compared to what it used to be, but there's not really much we can do about it in these modern versions of the game. So we're going to leave that there. Okay, so moving on. What have we got next? So, the next one was the apocalyptic Earth, right. Now, I'm thinking for this one, either closer to the sun or maybe a little further where Mars would normally sit. So, this was competition 5. I'm going to place it in the Venus... it there. I'm going to see how this works. So this is competition 5. This was made by Siren. If we spawn it in and have us zoom in here. Okay, so this one, I mean, it's from an old version as well, but it seems to be a little more original, a little more correct to the original appearance than the previous one was. So, I mean, we can increase the water a bit, but yeah, very apocalyptic, wrecked looking Earth. I mean, yeah, look at the state of that. I mean, and obviously with the version of the game, it makes it look even more extreme. So yeah, I'll leave it like that. I mean, it's just a pile of apocalyptic craziness there. So yeah, I'll leave it the way it is. There's nothing that needs to be modified there. Pretty much I'm happy with the way that looks. So go ahead and zoom out again. What we'll do as well is give it a change in the interface bit. So there we are, looking good. I think competition 3, we gave that one a custom color, didn't we? Yep. Okay, right, so this in the solar system's looking fairly a little filled now. So what we'll do, what we got next? Competition 6. So that was another one by Siren. So the competition 6 was the broken and glitched object. So, okay, this one, it was glitched in the original version. How glitched will it be now? So let's place it a little further out. So this is asteroid belt sort of area here. Right, how are we looking? How functional is it? Does it look crazy? I mean, it does look a little, I mean, look how the city lights appear, and then when we turn around, they sort of disappear. That is weird. That is so weird. Underneath the object, this is it. I mean, it does look very bizarre. So we'll leave it the way it is. That's the way it's intended to be. It was meant to be a glitched object, so we'll let it be that. So that's fine. Don't need to modify anything there. Looking good. Okay, what have we got next? So competition 6, competition 7. This was the Planet 9 object competition. Okay, so if it's a Planet 9, this is Error XD's one. It's going to be pretty far away, so I'm going to place it there for now. But I want it to sort of be on the edge of the sunlight, so it won't be exactly the same as the normal Planet 9 orbit. So, is it receiving any light there? I mean, if we halve it, there's some sunlight. So let's just put it a little further out. I mean, yeah, it's barely receiving light whatsoever now, but I mean, it's getting a tiny bit. So we'll leave it there. I will come back to that later once we've built more of the system in, though. So let's do that. Okay. Right, where are we going next? So it was Planet 9. Next up, we got Kepler 138d. This was the gas. This was the first of the gas dwarfs. So this will work pretty well as well. So 6, 7, so 8. This is the gas dwarf here. Okay. Let's place it in the asteroid belt area. I'm going to put it there. Okay, so if we zoom in on it, how's it looking? So, nice, simple, modified gas giant there. So it's got a nice mix of different band colours in it as well. But yeah, there it is. So competition 8, looking good. So we'll leave that there. Slight object, or slight tilt on the orbit there as well. That's fine, okay. Right, next up we have got the sulfur gas dwarfs. This was object competition 9. So 8, where's 9? So competition... Okay, so this was another one from Mr. Missler. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put it near where his original object was. I'm going to place it... I don't want to make the inner solar system too clogged up, but I want to make this the closest to the sun. And the reason for that is this one had a really cool tidally locked design to it. So if we rotate it like that, the tidally lock sort of effect on it does look pretty cool. So it's smoking up though. So we are going to need to probably buffer a bit because it is way too close to the sun here. So where are I? So orbit... Let's buff it up. Okay, it's still too much. Further away. No, still not having it. No, it still won't have it. Right. How far is it going to have to go to stop smoking? 2 years, 3 years, 4... No, it's still going. What is that all about? Why are you doing that? Actually, what we can do as well, actually, let's pull it back to where it was. So, back in the very inner areas. What I'll do is I'll give it a buff in the mass. Its mass is quite low. Let's put it to 1 Earth. No, 2 play. Is that gonna? Yeah. Okay, there we go. So 1 Earth, slight modification. It hasn't changed the radius. It's just the mass. So there we go. So tidally locked effect, facing the sun there. I think that's looking really cool. So let's leave that the way it is. Oh, what's this? Oh, I think it. Ah, okay, right. We'll just go ahead and delete those particles. God, I thought that was something else there. It wasn't good. Right. So play. Okay, so that should comfortably sit in the inner. So let's just make sure the simulation works. We don't want to put too much stuff in there. So is this all going to sit fine? Yep, that's looking good. Yep. That's all looking stable, so looking good. Right, so how hot will this thing go now? So, well, it's warmed up, so it's now smoking up again, which is very pesky. But maybe that's how we'll leave it. Maybe we'll have it. Maybe we'll have it smoking up, and it's been demolished by the sun here. How's this one doing? What we do is rotational period. So let's give you a slight buff, and then I'm going to give this one just a tiny bit more of a buff. Just get it a little further away from the sun. It's already lost 0.002 Earths in mass as well, so that's pretty crazy. Rotational period, put it to 1 year. Oh, no, not rotational period. No, we want it 10 hours. Not 10 days, 10 hours. There you go. So that, I want that to rotate pretty quick. Right, so now, yeah, orbital period, 40 days. Slight little buff. Yeah, a little lower. Around 1.4 months, 1.39. So, how are we looking there? Hopefully that... No, it's still smoking up. But, you know, I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to let it be sort of... slowly dissolved by the sun. I think that sort of fits this sort of thing well. Oh, look how it rotates as well. That is pretty cool. And then obviously it'll go back to the orange side. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. I'm liking it. So yeah, this object is actually going to be destroyed. It's not usually I let objects like that stay in my systems, but yeah, this time, why not? So, what have we got next? That's object competition 9. That was the sulfur gas dwarf. Next up, we've got the Epsilon Adani B and C competition. So this will be an ice giant. So I'm pretty sure you guys can already work out where I'm going to place this. So, where is it? Competition 10. One of Core's objects. We're going to place it in the Uranus area. So we're going to put it here. So if we go ahead and go over here. So nice ice giant. Similar to Uranus in colours as well, really. So there it is. Looking good. So that will sit over there nicely. Excellent. Okay, so we're getting a little filled up now. We've already got more planets than the normal solar system, pretty much. We're at 10 planets now. So, right, what have we got next? So, competition 11. Okay, this was stuck in 2D. So, what was this? Habitable planets with a backstory. Okay, so it's a habitable planet. We're going to have to pull it in that inner area here. So, let's try and get it a little further out than an anomalous object. So, the inner solar system is getting a bit packed now. But yeah, that's fine. So, let's place it in here. Let's see how it does. Okay, so 0 degree, can we get to 0? So that's still getting too cold, right? So what we can try, slight atmosphere buff. Let's see what we're doing. So atmosphere. Ah, okay, it's 2.31 ATM already. Let's lower that albedo down. Let it warm up a bit. Come on, you gonna? No? Oh, no, that we don't want that. Come on, we want you to stay fairly warm here. Come on, and then trail color needs to change so we can actually see it. Okay, right now what I'll do as well. Orbital period will lower it a bit. A little closer to the sun. Come on, just warm up. Please warm up. See, the most recent versions of the game, they really do have problems trying to get rocky planets to warm up. If this was like the older ones, they would skyrocket with high ATMs. But they don't seem to do that as much anymore, which is kind of annoying. So, 21.4. So it's still lower that. And then we'll times by 2. That should easily be enough atmosphere to really get it going now. No, it still won't have it. So this will eventually freeze up then, which is kind of a shame, really. But we can't really slot it anywhere else, unfortunately. It's, yeah, too far. I mean, we could try merging it a little closer with, I mean, let's give it a shot. Why not? So 11.2 months. We're sort of in that area with all the habitable planets. So 0. Play. No, it still won't have it. Even in the Earth's orbit, it's got 1.5 Earths, 1 Earth in radius. It's got a nice load of water. 4.680. I mean, that should be warming up. I don't understand that part. Why doesn't it do that? So it's still cold. It won't have it. Yeah. So we'll just put it back where it was. And there's no point interfering with the other orbits if it's not going to do anything. So we'll put it back there, roughly. So somewhere there. So that will eventually freeze. But yeah, we'll just have to live with it, unfortunately. So, right, next up we have the... Oh, no, I did actually miss a few, actually. No, that was actually the Christmas object. That wasn't the habitable planet with backstory. That was actually a Christmas object. So, okay, it makes sense. It'll be colder now, actually, so that's fine. I completely skipped over one. So, next up, we have the Epsilon Erdani C rerun. So, this would be competition 12. So, this was the Munich. So, we're going to place this in the Neptune area. So, I'm going to put it around 20 AU. Somewhere here. 25 AU, 20, 22. I'm going to put it there. So, okay, here it is. Can we select it, please? Oi, there we go. Right, it's competition 12. Here's this object, if it'll open up. It's got a lot of bands. See, it doesn't like that loading. Right, can we open up again, please? Come on. Nice and easy. Come on, game. Oh, it is a challenge. Right. Now we'll go all the way down here. So this will be the Neptune sort of object in here. So put it there. Nice coloured trail. And there you go. So we'll let that. It's also on quite a similar tilt to Neptune as well. So... we did 50 now. It's fairly similar to Neptune there as well. So pretty cool. And how we doing? So that's on a... I do want to slightly... Make things a little more interesting with the orbits, especially with the gas giants. So can you give it a slightly more... Just slightly eccentric. And then a slight incline. Oh, that's a little too much. Whoa, no. That's still a little too much to my liking. Maybe... There? Yeah, I'll have it there. Okay. Oh, doesn't like... Those banded objects really don't like you going in their menus. Right, so what have we got next? Okay, so next up was the... So now it was the habitable planets with backstory. So this was Error XD's object. I think this was the bromine world, if I remember right. So I'm going to place that... Let's have it in between the Saturn and Uranus sort of orbit. So I'm going to put it here. That kind of reminds me of the little object that sits there in normally. So let's go ahead and place it in here. Yeah, it's a kind of dark and mysterious world in the Saturn-Uranus sort of area here. Yep. That's looking good. I'm liking that. That was the bromine world. I'm sure that was the bromine world. So, let's have that there. Okay, what have we got next? Right. So, it was the scorched desert object next. Right, okay. Scorched desert. So, that was stuck in 2D. That was another one from him. So, we're going to place that. That I will put closer to the sun, I think. Hopefully. Let's see if we can try and slot it in. So, right, this is going to be difficult. There's a lot of stuff in that inner solar system here, so that is going to be a challenge. I mean, if I could try that, but I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, it's warming up. I mean, that should be going a lot higher, being this close to the sun. Let's see how it works. So, if we look underneath, so there's this scorched sort of area too. I remember this one had a really cool, like, this one had quite a cool backstory behind it. It's got that weird glitch from old versions as well, so we'll leave that there. No modifications needed. So, but yep, looking good. That's that inner solar system, man. It can't handle much more, surely. So, right, who have we got next? So next up, we have the winter world. We can put this one nice far out. So, Pluto Neon. Yes, I remember this one. This one had the cool coloured snow. I'm going to put this where the Pluto. Let's put it in a Pluto. I mean, his name is Pluto Neon. Let's put him where the Pluto orbit, somewhere around here. So, zoom in all the way in. Obviously, it's going to be very dark and cold here. There it is. Got that weird glitch on it from the old version as well. Let's just tilt it so we don't see it as much. But yeah, there you go. So no modifications needed here either. I'm happy with the way that is sitting. Looking good. Further out. Yeah, I'm liking that. Sweet. Right, and then what we'll do. It's tiny eccentric. So let's give it just a tiny buff. Let's increase it. Don't want to go too far, but let's just let it see how far it goes. Come on. A little further. ×2. A little bit more. Yeah, okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lower the original orbit. yeah, I'm liking that. Can have it like that. Good, good. Okay, so I mean, it does look. I mean, you can see similarities to our own solar system here, really. But yeah, this is. I did want to build off the sun to have it in a quite a nice setup. So, right, we had Winter World. Next up, we got Valentine's. So that was another one from Siren here. So let's place that in. Right. So where are we thinking to put this one? Maybe a gas giant in the asteroid belt area. So what if we place it here? Place it there, comp 16. So this one wasn't the largest world ever. It's 1 Earth in radius. Yeah, it was quite a small, more of like a gas dwarf sort of size, really. But here it is. So if you remember this one was really cool. Yeah, that was a good looking one. So, oh, a bit of lag there, closing the menu of all these bands. So yeah, there it is, looking great. No modifications that are needed. Again, that one is nicely placed in there. That's looking good. Yeah, I'm liking it. So there we are. Right, and then lastly, the last ever object competition. This was Core's object. And I think this was a gas dwarf as well, but we're going to have this one a little farther out as well. Let's have it in that sort of Pluto sort of area. So I'm going to put it here. So let's go ahead. Oh, we can see there's definitely glitches on here. That's only from the previous game version as well, so it's weird how that's worked out. So eccentric. Give you a slight... Yeah. Oh, it's going a little near the Planet 9 one. Lower the orbit. So you can cut across the Pluto orbit. There you go. Right, and then lastly, let's go ahead and check it out. Maybe we need to do a slight modification to it. So what's all that snow about? It's obviously very dark here. What we'll do is studio. I mean, it does look quite cool with all that ice on it, but we don't want that. That needs to go. We don't want that nonsense here. So can we just remove any water? There we go. So that's fixed it. Good. Right, and that will happily sit in the edges of the solar system here. So looking good. That menacing red atmosphere as well. So that's just... chilling on the far end of the system. Obviously, the sun's very small at this point. That red does look menacing. So there you go. Yeah, that was the last competition winner. So that now means every single object competition winner has been added to the solar system. So, or added to a system. I mean, I wouldn't really call it the solar system anymore, but there you are. And then lastly, what I want to do, I did say I wanted to return to the Planet 9. And we're going to simply give it a pretty extreme orbit as well. So, eccentric. This is where I want this number to go a little more crazy. So the Planet 9, a real sort of Planet 9 sort of design here. Going to lower this down a bit. So that's going to sort of cut in where those dwarf planets are as well. So that's looking good. And then I'm just going to have it sitting like there. Yeah. So that will cut in the orbit on occasion and then go back out again. So there we go. That is the system with all of the competition winners in it. So what do you think of that? Not obviously the most advanced system ever, but I think I've put it together quite well. So there's the lineup of all the objects. So looking good. I mean, it's quite a nice family of objects, really, as well. I think it does look pretty good. Looks like this poor thing is frozen up again. Yeah, it seems like these objects. Maybe it's just objects from the older version of the game, but you can see they are struggling to. They are struggling to work in this version. You see the glitchies, very glitchy there. So yeah, we'll leave that be. But yeah, there we go. So at least we can get them all in the system together. So yeah, I like it. And then we'll do as well. Background, nice and simple. Let's do that. Blacked it out. Yeah, liking that. So we'll call it the Oh, no way. Oh, have I just lost it? No, there must be a recently saved. Please be a recently saved. It should be down here. Oh, that is a disaster. Where is it? Is it? What do they call it? My save? My simulation, isn't it? Oh my god, I think we've lost it. No way. Well, you guys saw it in its brief existence. We did build the system, but I have to rebuild that off camera. I think we have... Yeah, that is a big disaster. And it has been lost to the Universe Sandbox gods, by the looks of it, unfortunately. I'm not sure if there's any way to recover that. Oh, that's... I think I must have accidentally clicked... Yeah. Oh, that's quite a bummer. Oh, dearie me. But I did have the system built. I'm sure there was a way to recover the previous system you opened. I'm sure there was a restore button. I have to try and see if I can work out where that is. So, yeah, we'll end off there, though, for the time being, guys. Hopefully I can get that recovered. But, yeah, I've still got all the objects if I ever need to build it. So, yeah, there we go. So we made the system. We saw it was all finished anyway, so that's fine. But yeah, there we go. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and my real screw up at the end there. But yeah, that all said and done, make sure to hit that like button, guys. Also, subscribe. Helps on the journey to 20,000 subscribers, as we are super close now. And that'd be, yeah, that's awesome when we'll get that. So yeah, huge thank you to everyone who has helped us on the journey so far. And if you've got any ideas for other videos, let me know down below in the comments or in my Discord server, link in the description. But yeah, that all said and done, guys. Make sure you have a great day. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video. goodbye. One final side note, we got it saved.